Okay.
Well, thank everybody for coming to teachers meeting tonight. We won't be meeting again until after consecration. Can I start us off in prayer? Sister Hughes, can you lead us in prayer, please? I think she's muted. Sister Washington, are you there? Sister Smith,
Yes, I'm here.
I'm sorry, I see your Washington out there, but I apologize. Sister Smith. Can you please lead us in prayer, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you for your loving kindness. Thank you for being mindful of us. Thank you for your favor, your protection, your guidance. Lord, we're asking you to give us wisdom and grace. Cover us as we go through these challenging moments in our country, in our history. God, we thank you already for what you've done because we know you have a plan and a purpose that is already laid out and set forth. Lord, give us wisdom, give us a desire and passion to bless these children that we teach in Sunday school. Lord, bind us together as one. Let us be on one accord and bless us during this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. I sent you the email. I didn't do an agenda because we are going to have our regular structure of the meeting. I just want us to take this opportunity to give you just a few things for us to get started on and then do the training so that once we come back in after consecration, we are ready to go. I spoke with Bishop Merritt after our last meeting. He understands and agrees that all Sunday school class meetings, non-adult classes will be held from ending and starting ending no later than 6:00 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And then we can meet Sundays after 3 o'clock. I think that was in the email sent to you. So, and he wants, after the board meeting last night, he's asking for the Sunday school classes to meet weekly. He said for the other auxiliaries, they would be meeting once a month. For Sunday school, we'll be meeting once a week. But Mr. Stinson is going to go with us and give us the password and the ID number for each of your classes. Each class will have its own individual ID number and password. And then we're going to give the times that are allotted for each of those classes. I also had the conversation with him regarding Saturday meetings, and Bishop Murray said to me that he will make sure, or there should be nothing going on a Saturday, even if he's asking us to do some things that we can't take 1 hour, 45 minutes to meet with the class. So he wants us also, and this is what he said in board meeting last night, he's asking for the auxiliary leaders and groups to make sure he is informed about everything we are doing in our auxiliary via Zoom. If he has not approved whatever we may be doing on Zoom, we cannot be doing it in the name of Greater Christ Temple Church. We cannot be doing it in the name of Sunday school or any other auxiliary. He has to know, and he has approved of everything that we are doing out there in the name of Greater Christ Temple Church. So even though we may have our own Zoom accounts or whatever, he's not restricting you from doing what you do on a personal basis. He just want to make sure that whatever we are doing in the name of Greater Christ Temple Church, he has approved that because the church is liable for everything we do in the name of Greater Christ Temple Church. He also asked us last night to give a report of contacts. He wants us to make sure that we're making contact with our students or the members in our particular group. So, and I'm going to fill out develop a form for us, kind of similar to what we are doing on Sunday mornings with the attendance report. I'm going to ask everybody once we start back to meeting, if you would take those attendance reports and let me know who is there, making sure we're meeting, starting on time, ending on time, and you send those back to me. Once I get them, I will package them, get them to Dr. Jones, and she will make sure Bishop Mary has all the information, notification about what we are doing in this in our different Zoom meetings. Okay, I think that was the gist of what we need to discuss. Bishop Mary's going to talk more in terms of what consecration is going to look like, but he did say to us that we will start on the 11th, we will end on the 22nd. There will be no Sunday school classes or no other meetings during that particular time period. Since we're stopping on the 22nd, I believe there's a Friday. He has not worked out the consecration, the communion piece of it. But we will not be meeting that Saturday, the 23rd or the 24th, because usually once we end the consecration, we go into the Sunday service with some parts of that. So we're just gonna say so that we're not planning for that. We just won't plan to meet until after the 24th, I believe, of January. Okay. So Sister Stenson, I'm gonna turn the meeting over to you.
All right. If I could get everybody to put their mics on mute, everybody, and put your email address in the chat box for me. And then the last thing is, if you have any questions, write your questions down and wait till I finish, then I can answer all the questions. Because what I find happens is we'll ask a question. I hate to say it, but we get on a tangent and everything isn't completed. So if you would just write your question down, and then we will get finished. I was asked to create Zoom classes or links for everybody. Initially, I thought I could, and I was out there, and if I would have done it probably back in the summer, I would have been able to do it. But now, since Zoom is the hot thing, you can get only so many free accounts, and you can get only so many free emails. And what I did was I set up 5 different Zoom accounts. And Dr. Crook asked me to make sure that if I schedule a class at 10 o'clock in one Zoom link account, that the next class doesn't start until 12 o'clock. So there'll be a 2-hour different time period just in case people run over. So I tried to do that. So what I'm going to show you is what I did, how to log into your account, and then I will take questions afterwards. The reason why I need your email address is because I created an email with your Zoom information on it and your login to Zoom for each teacher. So everybody's not going to have the same information. So I didn't want to do it in a mass email and everybody trying to figure out where my name, I can't find, I'm trying to eliminate any confusion. So if you would be so gracious just to put your email address in the chat and I'll take a picture of it. And by tonight, I hope to send everybody out their link. All right. So first things first, if you haven't, well, you should have an account because everybody's out here, but you won't be using your private account. So what will happen is, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. What will happen is you will go out there to the actual Zoom page, and I'm sharing my screen so you can see. Okay, you'll go out there to the actual Zoom page, Zoom sign in. That's the first step. I put all of these steps in your email so you won't get confused. Depending on if you're in GC Primary 1, you will see who's in there first. Once you get logged in, because I'm gonna give you the password and the username. As soon as you get logged in, you're going to click over to meetings. And once you click over to meetings, as you can see on your screen, you should be able to see on your screen who was all in block one. Crook, Murphy, Keller, Bush, Jordan, and Crofton Lee. Once you see this page right here, the only thing you're going to do is hover over your name. And once you hover over your name, you should see how it's highlighted. And then the only thing you got to do is click start, and your Zoom meeting will open. Now, why am I asking you to go through this? Because what I find, or what I've been observing with GCT, we've been using Universal Zoom Link, and people who probably created the link are not there as the host, so they don't have the capabilities to do everything they needed to do. So by you logging into Zoom, you automatically become the host to do whatever you need to do to maneuver through your class. That's it. Now, I will make sure that everybody gets all this information for the teachers. Now, I'm just going to click right here, because I know the next question probably on some of your mind is, well, how do my students know what my link is? Well, in your email, you will get at the bottom portion this information that you will send out to your students. It's the link in the password for your particular class. That's what's going to the students. Remember, the teachers will log in through Zoom, and your students only have to get this link and press the link and put the password in and log in. I tried to make it as simple as I possibly could, because in my profession, teaching online for the last 13, 14 years, I know the more simplistic it is for my students to navigate, the better it is for our class. So remember, they don't have as much as you do. The only thing you have to do is find out their parents' email address and just send them their link. Every class has a different link. I'm going to show you. That's a Bush Jordan class. If I go back to meetings, I hover over Crook, Murphy, and Keller. If you notice, they have their own Zoom link of their class. So when you get your email, it's going to be very simple. It's just basically 3 steps. When you get ready to teach your class, you'll log in through Zoom and hit start. The second portion of it is you'll make sure that you send the email to your students in your class how to get into your class, your link to get into your class. All right. So again, the reason why I was tasked to do this, because again, by the teachers having the host capabilities, then they will be able to do everything they need to do that is beneficial to their students. Now, this is a hot button that I found out yesterday that was reinforced yesterday. The one thing about Zoom that I do like is you can put people in a waiting room if they are misbehaving. Don't remove them, because if you remove them, you got to go through the whole process of trying to get them back in your class. But put them in the waiting room. If somebody comes in and you don't know who they are, you can put them in a waiting room and send a chat to them to identify who they are, because we never know who's going to pass an email or who's going to do what. And you want to make sure you're comfortable with that person being in your classroom. Now, the last thing I have to say about this before I entertain questions, because it's really simple, is that the time slots for your class, or the time slots that I set your class up for, is what, according to what Dr. Crook gave me. And she probably will discuss more of that later. But I tried to make sure that you had enough room where you didn't feel so pressured to hurry up and get off. But at the same time, everybody, if you wanted to do, 3 or 4 classes wanted to teach at 11 o'clock, 3 or 4 people could teach at 11 o'clock. So it would not be, oh, I got to wait for the link to open. No, you already have that opportunity for that to happen. Now, I know I was quick through it. Are there any questions? Questions? No questions?
I'm late, so I'll talk about it, get with you later.
Okay. Questions?
Sister Stinson,
Uh-huh.
praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
As far as the social superintendent, will we have access to the teachers' ID number and passcode so we can go in and out?
I'm going to send you your bunch for primary, and then I'm gonna send Sister Merritt her bunch for junior and junior high. So y'all have like all the codes. Okay. Okay, let me see what the message is down at the bottom. Somebody sent me a message. Oh, that's Sister Putman's email. Okay. Are there any other questions?
Yes, I have one.
Uh-huh.
This is Sharon.
I see you.
Okay. Hey, I was seeing where some of the teachers are putting their email address in.
Mhm.
I'm on a tablet. So is that a difference from using computer and a tablet?
Oh, yeah, just give me your tablet email. That's fine.
So, but how I shoot it to you? Just tell you or what?
Oh, okay. Sharon, I'm looking, I gotta look at my tablet. I'm not logged into Zoom though. It should be, read what's on your screen right now, Sharon. What are you seeing?
You?
Huh?
Just your face?
Oh, just my face. We're not even getting ready to worry about that.
Okay.
I'm going, Sharon Huddleston, hold on 1 second. Email, done. Okay, Sharon, what's your email address?
Sharon, lower case, Sharon, SHERONDE.
55 at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
I got you. All right. We're good.
Put you back on mute.
Yeah, you can go back on mute. Are there any other questions?
I'm going to ask everyone if you have a question or thinking about a question, go on and ask it now. Try not to do anything offline because whatever you may be asking is probably something that the rest of us need to know. So just ask everything regardless of how complicated or how simple you may think it may be. We have to 7 o'clock to be online with this.
Could we get a copy of the instructions?
Yeah, I put Sister Bush in your email that you're gonna get. I put the instructions 1, 2, 3 for you in your email.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Sister Spencer, what are the time frames that you already have for the teachers?
Dr. Crook, you wanna?
So if they might want to change it, they can do it now, or would that be a problem?
You got the times with you, Dr. Crook?
I didn't print them.
Okay, well, we can share them and everybody can see their time. Hold on 1 second. Let's just share it right quick. What am I sharing? I'm sharing Zoom. Okay. All right. So in this group, share. Let's go to meetings. Crook, Murphy, Keller is 10 to 11. And then Bush and Jordan is 12 to 1. And that's Saturday. And then Croft and Lee are Sunday at 4 to 5.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing and let me open up another link. Let me open up the other class host. Okay, here comes the next bunch of I'm getting ready to share with you. Let's share right quick. Screen share. And I have to replace some names. Huddleston and McDonald, 11. Purnell and Smith 1. Radcliffe and Putman Thursdays at 5:30.
We may have to change that since Bishop Merritt said no classes going beyond 6 o'clock.
This is Sister Putman. I think
Okay.
both me and Kat, I don't know if we're gonna be able to teach then. I get it that he wants to keep it early, but we're both, like, I'm still at work now and we both work late. So that on Thursdays is not gonna, that time is just not gonna work. And I get it, that if he has to, we have to close it early, it's gonna take me out and it may take, I think Kelly's on here and she can speak for herself.
Let me open up the next screen.
Is Brother Ricky on here? Do you know?
I can't see.
Minister Smith, he's here.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Sister,
All right.
Sister Dr. Crook. I'm kind of the same way as Sister Putman because my co-teacher, me and Brother Putman was talking about. We were trying to do Thursday in the evening time because my schedule work and stuff, and it's hard. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hard to try to do something. And Saturday, I'm just gonna be honest with you, because I work Monday through Friday. I like to have my Saturday. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Okay, that's fine.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I talked to Brother Putman, and Sunday's not even an option for him because he has too much to do with the church, with the setting up and everything. And my other co-teachers, they told me, one told me he couldn't do it this time, and the other one I hadn't even talked to because his wife was sick. So I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's very hard.
Who are those co-teachers?
All right, Brother Kenny Robinson told me he couldn't. Robinson said he couldn't do it right now.
Okay.
And I hadn't talked to Brother Wansley because of Sister Wansley, and Brother Wansley had been in and out for a little while, you know what I'm saying?
Otherwise, he's already sent me an email regarding his teaching.
Okay.
Okay.
So only person who really was gonna be with me was really be Brother Putman, and we was trying. What we did, Dr. Crook, we had before y'all came and told us about the thing. I kind of went to the students and said, "What day would be a good day for y'all?" Because we talking about teenage kids, you know what I'm saying? And we trying to figure out. And this is with no disrespect to y'all, because I didn't know y'all was gonna come up with this time frame. You couldn't do it after 6 o'clock, and that was a very, very bad thing.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna share the next section. Saturday 12 to 1, Smith and Robinson. Kids Sunday morning at 9:30, and Bishops and Sister Merritt's Bishop's class and New Saints on Monday. And then the last bunch, I think, of times is let me see, sign out is no, I forgot which one I've opened. Sign in. I hope I'm not repeating something. Oh, okay, no. Here we go. I will share screen. Where'd you go? Okay, right there. And then Season Saints, I just put a date out there for them. But Jones and Powell girls at 11 on Saturday, and then college class Sunday at 9:30, and then Elder Reeves is at 6 o'clock.
Did Paul and Jones pick that date?
That's the date I was given.
Okay, because
that was the day and time.
Yes, we clarified that with Sister Powell, and when we had the last meeting. Yeah, so that was clarified. Initially, there was some concerns about that, but Sister Powell said that she could possibly do it, and that I didn't have a second conversation with Dr. Jones on this, but when we were there, Sister.
What date and time was that again for Jones and Powell?
Saturday, at what time was that, Tasha? 11, something like that. But anyway, she's gonna send out she'll send
It's Saturday at 11.
7.
Okay.
This is Dr. Crook. Sorry, Dr. Crook.
Yes.
So does it mean like, we need to change our schedule as well? You changed our schedule or?
No, his conversation was regarding the non-adult class.
Non-adult. Okay, so our timing is fine. Okay. All right. Thank you.
This is Dante. Me and Kia are operating kind of as co-teachers for the classes since we're pretty much covering the same age group. So can we just get a shared ID and password?
We have a conversation about that, Minister Carter. Those two classes were put together, but they are actual individual classes. And then we've had some concerns about some students feeling as though they're not trying to be in with the college years, and some of the others are not trying to be there. So we can have a discussion about that. They're not supposed to be combined.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I missed it. Other than you saying Bishop said no classes on Thursday after 6.
No.
Was there any specifics as to why not?
Because that's a conversation we had with Bishop Merritt in dealing with how Sunday school is going to operate. It was taken into account the students when they are in classes Monday through Friday, we were in or out of this virtual world. So, but that's what Bishop Merritt and I talked about, and that was the decision that was made about this. I'll go back and have another conversation with him.
Yeah, because could I drop this? With that age group you're dealing with, they're not the ones that go to bed early. So 6 to 7, they're not going to be in the bed.
We'll have a conversation about that with those students, with their parents and others. So Sister Mary, we have a conversation about what's going to be best and what the pastor and we have discussed and talked about. But we will also have a conversation with the parents of those students.
All right.
Sister Simpson, did we have classes assigned to all of the adult classes? I'm not sure. Do we hear Mr. Miller and Elder Reed's class and Bishop Mary's class?
I showed it. Yeah, I showed it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Praise the Lord, everybody. I was having some technical difficulties, so I missed out on most of it. I've been in on the last 5 minutes probably. So can you go back and give me an update?
Okay, so what I did was I created a link for everybody's class. And I don't know if you, Sister Jordan, did you put your email in the chat box for me?
No,
okay.
I can't.
Okay, put your email in the chat box. And what I'm going to do is tonight, I'm going to send everybody their Zoom link for your class. And as I started out, and I'll go through it again because you weren't the only one who came in a little late. I'll just share quickly with you what I said. When you, like normally when you get in on a meeting, you'll go to an email that you got and you can click on the link. But I was asked to create everybody a class link so that when the teachers begin to teach, they could be the host of each class. So that's what I did. In your email you're going to receive from me, you're going to see the directions of what happens. Instead of when you get ready to teach your Sunday school class, instead of just going to a link and clicking on that link and going in, you're going to have to log in through Zoom. So I'm going to show again quickly, share my screen. You're going to log into the regular Zoom link, and it will, I put that email in the I put the email, I'm sorry, the web address of Zoom in your email. So you just click on that, and then you will see the password and your username to get into the Zoom link. Once you get into the Zoom link, you're going to click on meetings, and then you're going to go and find your name. And once you find your name, the only thing you have to do is hover over and click to start the email, start your class, or hit start. As I said, everybody, according to what Dr. Crook gave me for time zones, time for your classes, that's how I set it up. So you just start your class from there. At the bottom portion of the email you're going to receive from me is going to be the Zoom class link that you will send out to your students. Now, they're not going to have to go through Zoom. The only thing they're going to have to do is just open up that email and click on that link and put in the password, and they can enter your class. The last thing that I said before it was over with, I said, make sure that you are really sure if you have a disruptive student, don't just kick them out. You might want to send them to the waiting room, because if you remove them, it's going to take some time for the students to get back in your class. So instead of just kicking them out, just put them in a waiting room, and then you can bring them back in from the waiting room. But I wanted to make sure, as I was telling Dr. Crook, that you all have all the hosting capabilities so that your class could run smoothly. You can make sure you know who people are coming in. Unlike today, I noticed when we all logged in today, we just came in. In your class, it won't be like that. When they log in, you have to admit them in your classroom. Again, that's another security. I was asked to put that security out there because we need to know who's in these classrooms with our young people. And we just don't want anybody in here. And Sister Putman could talk about that. You know, one of my biggest fears is with social media and everything. Kids are being seduced through social media. So I try to put every security measure out there. So once they click in, you know their email address or whatever, you can admit them into the classroom. And if you see something that is nefarious or you don't know, then you can make sure that their safety is the most important thing. So, and what I was saying is tonight I'm going to send out every teacher your email with your Zoom access password and username, as well as your Zoom link for your classes.
And will we be responsible for informing our students, the parents of our students, of when our next class and everything is, giving them that information, or is that going to continue to come from you guys?
No, it will have to come from the individual teachers.
Okay.
And then if you may want to, I think Sister Karen is working to make sure we have updated email addresses. And so if you have them, you can get them to her. And that way you can just kind of copy the email each time and just change the data, change the lesson on them.
And from what I understand from the email that was sent out earlier, we will not resume classes until after consecration.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. What is that date? Can you repeat those dates, Dr. Crook, please?
Consecration, somebody correct me if I'm incorrect, from last night, will be from, it's going to start Monday, the 11th of January. It's going to end the 22nd, which is on a Friday. Bishop Mary's going to give more instructions about the communion. That Friday, on that Saturday and Sunday, the 23rd and 24th, generally we have a consecration, but we still fast or something up to that Sunday. So we won't have our Sunday school classes on that weekend of the 23rd and the 24th, because we don't know what those instructions are. So we'll start back that following week after the 25th.
So what is that? What week is that?
That's going to be
a calendar. Let me get a calendar out.
So the 25th, we'll start back
30th, the 25th.
It's the 30th? Is it 27th?
The 30th is Saturday.
Right. That's it. If it's a Saturday, it'd be a 30th. Yeah.
But then remember, some classes are on Thursday and some classes are, yeah. So whatever after the Sunday after the 22nd,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the Sunday's the 24th. So we start back the week of the 25th of January.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're meeting each week thereafter. Bishop has given us instructions for Sunday school to meet once a week. And so some of you who may have come on a little later, he wants us to make sure we are getting information to him regarding how we are contacting our students. So the best way we can do that is just show the attendance, and then we'll get that information to Dr. Jones, and Dr. Jones will be responsible for getting that to Bishop Merritt. He's made it extremely, he stressed that last night that each auxiliary is to do everything they possibly can to make contact with the saints, especially during this period. And I'm pretty sure he's asking us continuously to do that. Most of the classes have not had an opportunity to meet. So we are the non-adult classes. If you have not met, you're really starting your first class. You're starting with Genesis chapter 1, and then you're gonna move through that. If you need a material, a package, then let us know about that, because we have 2 weeks to try to get that information together for you and for your classes. And then I'm gonna ask each associate superintendent to meet with your teachers before Wednesday night so that you will have your lesson plans in place prior to meeting with your students on that on your meeting date. We prepared the package for overall general, but some of them may be a little elementary, or some of them may be you may want to provide something different. Or if you don't have lessons, chapters 1, 2, and 3, if I need to send those back to you again, email those to you, I can, and then you can be looking at those in this 2-week period prior to you actually meeting with your students. So this year, we are gonna ask each of you to make sure you're meeting with the associate superintendent so that they know what you will be presenting in your classes, and you wanna be giving them a lesson plan before those classes are meeting. And I'm gonna ask each of you teachers, since there are usually more than 1 or 2 teachers per class, you may wanna, not may, you will need to meet with your teachers before you go out there meeting with your students to make sure that you have your lesson plan and all that together before meeting with them, so that you are not saying the same thing to them or saying some things that may be a little, having different opinions about something. You can make sure you're all on one accord with what you're gonna be teaching them before you get out there with them. And then with the younger classes, many of their parents will be out there. And then we are encouraging all of the classes, since we're in this virtual world, for those parents to peep in on your class so that they will see and understand what you are teaching their students. That's all classes. So we should be saying nothing, the students shouldn't be saying anything to us really that their parents cannot know about. We're Sunday school teachers. We're just dealing with the word of God based on the curriculum that has been given to us to teach. Anything beyond that or outside of that is outside of the scope of Sunday school. That is for the other auxiliaries to address and deal with.
Dr. Crook.
Yes.
I know that you said that you we discussed Sundays at 9:30. And I have like, I think 3 9:30 slots that are open for Sunday. Will you
Those
be
are
willing?
just adult classes, only adult classes,
Okay.
only adult classes. And the reason for that, the parents are, we're not trying to do anything that's gonna be disruptive to the 8 o'clock service and the 11:15 service. So these are only adult classes who have the ability to get in their cars and drive themselves to Sunday school. And then we only said that because some of the adult classes, actually 2 classes, Minister Carter and Sister Reed's class, were already consistently meeting at that time with their adult students. And so that's why we didn't change that, because they already have that in place. And they, even when they have those meetings at that time, they still show up at the 11 o'clock service, or some of them at the 8 o'clock service. But that was for adult classes only.
Okay.
So, Dr. Cook, so what's the length of the class? Is it 45 minutes or is it an hour?
It's 45 minutes, and then you have the grace period of the 15 minutes. But I would try to stay within the 45 minutes, and then we're using the free Zoom. So the maximum time is supposed to be 30 minutes, but we've been out there a little longer than the 30 minutes. So you don't want to go over, stay within your 45 minutes. If you go over just a little, then that may be okay, or the system may automatically cut you off. As more people get on Zoom and using the free Zoom.
Do we have to use the whole 45 minutes, or can it be a little bit shorter than that?
You don't have to use the entire 45 minutes, but I think I would probably take the opportunity to make sure I am making sure my students are understanding what I have taught them. So if you're not using, even in your classes or as teachers, one of the normal, what's the norm, 50 minutes to an hour in a regular school class?
For special ed, it's 20. For regular ed, it's 55.
About 55 minutes, okay. So you be the judge of that, but I'm just gonna ask you to, the important thing is, make sure you're covering everything that is in that plan for them to learn and know. And then you may wanna, I'm not gonna say test, but have them to reiterate to you based on what you have discussed. And then I'm gonna ask you to add variety in there, add games, do play the Jeopardy, play other things that will kind of fit you in. But 45 minutes with them in a Sunday school class, by the time you ask them a little about what they have learned, ask them about who are they bringing into their class, give them an opportunity to talk, not you talking to them, and I know many of you are not doing that, but giving them an opportunity to teach the class. And you have 10 people, 10 students in your class, and I'm praying that each class get no lower than at least 10 students in the class. And if you give each student an opportunity to do some things, let them act as student teachers. And so I would probably get in as close to the 45 minutes. But the important thing, once they come out of what you have taught them for that particular lesson, you put whatever's in place to make sure they know what that is. Helping the students to be able to not just recite Bible verses, but they should have a number of Bible verses that they should be learning coming out of your class. And so having them to repeat that and tell, not just repeating it, but having them to understand or be able to explain what that actually means. So you be the gauge of that, but understand that you are developing the minds of young people. And you know better than I, because it's your profession, you are a teacher.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sister Mary, could you give me your email address, please?
I don't know. Wait a minute, I got that.
All righty then.
Look, Karen got it. I don't know.
I got it.
Okay. Send it to me, yeah.
I have to look for it, but Karen got it.
All right. If you didn't, please put your email address in the chat box.
And that is the update one, right, Karen, that I sent you?
Yes, you did. Yes. Yes.
Okay. I think I have it right here.
I have been using my TSU email address, and I have approval to do that, and I can use it for a year. I'm going to try to transfer over to using my Gmail address more often than that, so that we can kind of get used to that. So when I send you the agenda lesson plans, you may get 2 emails from me, one from the TSU and one from the Gmail, and then in time, I'll phase out using that TSU email address.
All right, I'm going to put my email address in the chat box for everyone, so you won't be like, who is this sending me an email? Everybody will already have my email address, so you can put it in when it comes up. When you get your email, you know it's from me.
Sister Shatika.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the 65. Is that the correct one? The 65. Oh, okay. That's the one I have. I want to make sure, but it's okay. I'll get it.
Yeah, the other one, I think just that the age change. Yeah, because the other one was 24. I think it's 60.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I went and changed it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, 65. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I got it.
Sister Tasha, is your email complete?
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. It isn't. Thank you for saying that. I got so many emails.
Oh.
And I try to make keep my private email with my church. I'm sorry. There you go. If y'all would know how many passwords and stuff I've worked with today.
Dang, I missed.
Thank you for asking, Sister.
I missed it, Tasha. Can you do it again one more time?
Isn't okay.
And while you're doing that, I just want to say to Sister Stinson, on behalf of all of us who are in Sunday school, we really appreciate you for doing this. I know it's taken a lot of time, and this is a very busy time period and work intense time period for those of you who are in education at this particular time, and even some of the other professions, because you're working from home and you're doing a lot of things that you normally would not be doing, and it is pretty much increased the workload. So I really appreciate you for doing this, Sister Stinson, and sharing your expertise with us. Also, I want to just say thank you to all the teachers and everyone for what you're doing. I want to really say thank you to Evangelist Morrison and the other teachers in that class who have allowed us to share in that class. And I'm going to encourage you to join in on that class on Thursdays. Even though we have our own classes, they will be given one over the classes. They're ahead of us anyway, with the ahead of the non-adult classes. And so we get more insight and information by sitting in that class. And so I'm going to just encourage each of you teachers to join in on them on Thursday nights. We'll be meeting tomorrow, and we won't meet again until after consecration. But we will be in the discussion of chapter 3, part 5 of chapter 3. And we're going to still stay in Genesis until the end of this Sunday school year. And then I will have a conversation with Bishop Mary relative to what curriculum we use after this particular year.
What, Karen? Is what?
Tasha.
Uh-huh.
So it's just Stinson, it's not L Stinson.
It's just Stinson 2010 at me.com. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Mm-hmm.
That L Stinson belongs to Columbia State.
The classes that are meeting, if you will make contact with your students to let them know that we will not be meeting again with them until the new date, based on when your classes will be meeting, so that they won't be expecting or signing on in at their own this Saturday or thereafter. Don't want to.
I changed the date so they can't sign in anyway. I changed them to after consecration. That's what I was doing. So that the students can't log into it anyway.
No, we want to send something to their parents.
Okay.
And that's really the only classes being out there.
Okay.
One of the primary classes. And so we just want to send something to the parents who have been signing on for them. Any other questions, concerns, or comments?
If you have any questions for me, you have my email. You can shoot your questions to my email. I promise you I will get back to you. It may not be right away, but I do try to respond to emails.
Dr. Crook, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna send the parents the information about when we're gonna start classes on January the 30th?
No, each teacher.
Each teacher gonna do it, or you're gonna do it in general open?
No, each teacher, you will need to make contact with your students and their parents to let them know that your next class will not be meeting until January, whatever that time period is.
Okay, Sister Karen.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I wanted to know, some of the parents don't have their email address. Do you have that information?
I have some of them. So if you call me, I mean, just for the ones, then I think that we had given you guys that list to fill out. So I only have the ones that kind of have responded from you all. So if you have somebody that you know, because some of them may have siblings. Right. So if you have some siblings that you know of that are in the primary class, then I can probably assist you with those. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But feel free.
So I'm sorry. Is your email address Stinson 2010? Is that on atme.com?
Atme.com. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Sister Karen, we may want to make contact with Sister Missy to see if we can put something in the GCT newsletter and ask them again to make contact with, it's okay with you. I said in their email addresses directly into you also as another, to their teacher and also to you, so that at some point we perhaps can get a master email listing directory of all of our students.
I can do that, but I do like the idea that the teachers contacting the students. That way you'll be able to confirm that. So yeah, I can do that too.
Yes. Then teachers also, even with the email address, make sure you have telephone numbers of your students, even if you're not missing or working with them, especially the smaller children. So you're staying in contact with their parents too. Any other questions regarding any of there's certain thing that you need for me to check on, or reiterate. Okay, if not,
Wait a minute, Dr. Crook, I do have some clarification. Sister Wansley and Sister Smith are in the same classroom, right?
No.
Who? What classroom is Sister? Who's with Sister Wansley?
Sister Thompson, Sister Marcia.
I don't even have it. You didn't give me them. And that's why I was sitting here looking, because when Sister Wansley got on, I kept saying, I don't remember making a class for them. Okay.
Sister Smith, you said Sister Liz Smith?
Pernell.
He's with Sister Pernell.
Okay. All right. That's why Sister Wansley, you remember I kept going back and forth with you? Because that is.
Yes.
Okay. You didn't give me them. Okay.
And Tasha, on Sister Jordan's name, I think you just may want to correct that. It's only one D.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to start sending my consulting fees to Great Christ Temple.
I'm saying it. Yeah.
I told Mariska, we going to get into consulting. We get ready to become billionaires. I'm start sending consulting fees out. I was going to correct that anyway.
Just remember you're doing it for the Lord. So
the Lord, that's why the Lord told me to do the consulting fees. He told me, go get your money, girl, honey. Go get your money. I'm going to change it. I had already seen it.
Okay. I was just trying to help.
Yeah, I got you.
And I thought we was going to go over it anyway.
Yeah, I got you. I was going to correct that one. But it was getting to me that I didn't have a class for Sister Wansley. That's why I had to ask that question. And before we go, so that you all will see that I did it quickly. I'm going to share quickly. It doesn't take long. Don't take long at all. Share screen. Bloop. And there we have it. I changed it. Right, Sister Crook?
That is correct. Very good.
Yeah, I told you.
I knew you would want to do it now as opposed to later.
I had already had it lined up to do.
I do have one question as it relates to training. I know the next time that we do that, so once we start our class, once teachers start their classes, and I guess Tara can probably ask this question too as well, as far as, letting people in. Is there going to be some type of training, since you're on consulting, how would those questions be addressed? And so I think most of, pretty much everybody know how to use the Zoom, but I didn't know if there's any type of training once we start up after consecration. That's just a question.
Only thing I can say, and I'm just be honest with you, give me at least a week in advance if you want training, so I can put it in my schedule. That's all I say about training, because and I cannot do it a training session on Tuesday nights because I will be teaching on Tuesday nights this spring, but at least give me a week in advance.
Yeah, I was only saying that because I know when I first got on Zoom, I was just really fearful of Zoom, and I had a lot of questions and stuff. And so, but I'm just trying to make sure that assistance is there to be able to help navigate through the system. So, but I didn't know if, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, Sister Stinson, we give you a week in advance, but it's Wednesday a better time for you? I mean, we know that we won't be asking of any other date other than Wednesday, because that's kind of our meeting day, and we can always do that during as opposed to teachers meeting.
Wednesday will be fine, but make sure you tell me in advance.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions, anyone? Again, I just really appreciate everything that you're doing. You're doing all of this as unto the Lord. He's going to richly bless you for what you're doing when you're working with his kids. That's the best thing you can be doing for him. So I appreciate everybody who can, and whatever and however way you can work in Sunday school, whichever thing works best for you. I'm open to that. Sometimes we can't always do everything in Sunday school. There's some other things that we can do. And so it's okay to make some of the adjustments at times, because we all have those different kind of schedules, and we just have life in general. And and then I'm going to ask each of you out there too, if you know of saints who are out there who want to work in Sunday school, just kind of encourage them to do that. We can use all the help we can in this program, even if it's no more than helping us to recruit students. And so again, I just thank you for everything you're doing. And it's about 7 minutes after 2, and I'm going to head over to church for physical Bible class. Okay. So those of you who are not physically going to the Bible class, remember that we have to attend Bible class, whether it's virtual or in person. So I'm going to let you get off. So you have a little something to eat before we start with detailed Bible class section.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks everybody. I love you.
Love you.
Love you.